subordination of the military, to civil authorities. How do you go about doing that? So this idea was introduced, change management project, which I personally also continued to that. The idea of we understanding the rule of law, the idea of we understanding subjecting ourselves to civil authorities, the idea of us standing the importance of human rights. These are things that we were bombarding our soldiers and officers with. This is something that also we noticed that there was decline in regimentation. So all those things that we used to do that were not being done, we brought them back into the barracks. We held every commander responsible. So if anything happened, we know that it's the commander that will be held responsible. So these are the efforts we'll be making. This we have done up to the time I left. After I left, I don't know. Thank you.
My name is Senator Shabala Feji, representing Kwara North. General, my first question is this. Recently, the country has witnessed crashes between farmers and Fulani herdsmen. This has posed a huge problem, not only to food production, but also to peaceful coexistence between our citizens. What is your take in finding an everlasting solution to this problem to avoid, or at least to ensure peaceful coexistence of our citizens and to ensure that food production in this country does not suffer? My second question has to do with the defense industry in Kaduna. The defense industry was established in Kaduna at the same time that the one in India and Brazil was established. All these are producing arms and ammunition today. The one in Kaduna is producing furniture. What would you do as the Minister of Defense to change this situation? Thank you, sir.
Senator Mao Wabon.
Senate President, distinguished Senator, my name is Senator Mao. Representing Abia North Senatorial District of Abia State. My General, looking at your CV, it's very clear that for the past 40 years of your existence, you've been in the military, which means using this palace, you have been a government pikin. And now, by the special grace of God, you are nominated to be a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You've also been the Chief of Army Staff under the Ministry of Defense. Let's assume you become the Minister of Defense. Can you briefly tell us, from your experience, what you think you can do differently from what had been existing and what had been happening, especially as regards the relationship between the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army? And I'm also aware that while you were there, definitely there was disparity in remuneration between the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army. I'm also aware that there was this armed forces, consolidated armed forces salary. In this present time, and if by the grace of God you become the minister, do you still believe in that consolidated salary structure, or there is something different you can do? Finally, somebody asked this question, but I still want to ask that question again. there is this, do you subscribe to the fact? Do you subscribe to the fact or to the statement that ministers, judging you as a lieutenant general, as a former chief of army staff, and if you become a minister tomorrow, that you'll be described as a noisemaker?
Senator Bintamasi.
Good afternoon. Well, I'm happy you called me at last. I'm basically, as a daughter of a retired soldier, I'm more passionate when it comes to the military in terms of their welfare and even their housing. So if today you are the Minister of Defense and if you look at all the barracks in this country, they are in a sorry state. And when you were the Chief of Army Staff, I think you embarked on a program that you use the engineering sector of the armed forces to come out, or deliberately come out with a direct project that has enhanced the standard of some of the housing projects that was constructed under your tenure. So if today you are now the Minister of Defense, will you expatiate that towards the housing formation of the rank and file, and to at least upgrade the standard of their welfare? And mostly, they've talked about the Northeast. And yesterday I was opportune to have a discussion with someone that lost about 3 siblings within the Nigerian army. And he said one of the issues, the guy is a major that was encountered in the battlefield, and out of 8, 9 of them, he was the only one that survived, but he's almost handicapped. The family has to spend about 17 million to at least put the gentleman into a stage where he can be, physically able. But they are feeling uncomfortable that this is a man that had worked for the country, and to see that Nigeria is stable in terms of peace. And now at the duty post, he has been left, he is in the Cosmos stage. And the Nigerian army has not deemed it fit to see how such a person can be revived or resuscitated to its standard where the family will be comfortable with. So if tomorrow you are the defense minister, I know there are a lot of problems or situations on ground that needs a kind of a solution. But Nigerians are looking, initially before now, many people want to join the Nigerian army. But now a lot of people are running away to join the Nigerian army because of what we have seen and heard from those that were affected. So we looked at, if tomorrow you are the defense minister, I hope such issue of taking the welfare of the men in uniform will be adequately taken care of, and more especially, sir, the housing solution of the men in uniform. Thank you very much.
Senator Remington.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Abdulrahman Danbazau, representing Lagos Central Senatorial District. Mr. Minister nominee, going by your antecedents and also the qualification we see in your CV, it shows that you have a global wealth of experience for the military profession. And when we look at the problems we have in the country today of youth unemployment, how